What's good? It's your boy Hurricane bringing you something new that y'all probably heard of back in the day. Probably never paid attention to it. But let's ask this question. Do you think the powers that be collectively all over the world have an organization that houses all objects and anomalies and world-ending monsters? Because if you do, then you need to look up the SCP Foundation. Now, the SCP Foundation, it's really like a Reddit forum where like a whole bunch of people make stories of a whole bunch of creatures, and they put them all in this like one type of universe being sealed up by an organization ran by the powers that be all over the world. You know, objects, places, creatures, you know, all these motherfuckers are being sealed. Basically, it's Area 51 on steroids. This motherfucker houses everything. And what we're about to listen to is SCP-343. God. That's what he called himself. Now, in the SCP Foundation, there's 3 classes of these creatures or objects. Object class safe means you won't be able to escape. Object class Euclid is, you know, you're unpredictable. So chances of escape, you know, like it might happen because these creatures are still unpredictable. And the Keter class are the world enders. If those motherfuckers get out, the world is destroyed. So they do certain rituals and certain shit to make sure these world enders don't destroy us all. Y'all remember Cabin in the Woods? Some shit like that. If you want to talk about an SCP Foundation, watch Cabin in the Woods. Real shit. Real fucking shit. And there's a show that came out back in the day called Warehouse 13. You know, it came on the Sci-Fi Channel. And that talked about a motherfucking place housing objects and anomalies that if it get out into the world, it's a wrap for it. So it made me think, you know, because someone told me just the motherfucker like watch a new SCP, because I haven't been watching SCP shit in a minute and I thought it was going to be some new shit. But there's just new videos of old SCPs, everybody putting a different spin on it, making content, making fan movies about it. You know what I'm saying? It's some real shit. Some cool shit. But do y'all believe that an SCP Foundation could exist? And let's like motherfucker add another connection. Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? Because like these motherfuckers, you know, like they find out some shit is in the area that they come through, they fucking take the object and make everybody lose their memory, or some motherfuckers get kidnapped and become an experiment. Now, the SCP Foundation is a ruthless organization. Their test subjects are motherfucking death row inmates. You know, like they throw them in the SCP room and see what the SCP do to them. The motherfuckers get devoured, ate up, motherfucking mind frozen, and they get stuck in different alternate universes because some of these creatures, that is in the Euclid and the Keter class, nigga, they are reality benders. So we about to get off into SCP-343, object class safe. Now, he's safe because he's willing to be in the SCP Foundation. He could leave if he want to. I guess he loved to hear himself talk or just talk to people. But let's get off into it.
Tale unworthy of the voice of God.
We'll take it in writing. It must be hard to insist you're the one true God when we have clear evidence to the contrary.
Have I not proven my omnipotence?
But as you say, belief is in the eye of the beholder. We've got reality benders, physics-destroying, dimension-hopping creatures all over the place. Popping things in and out of sight isn't much comparatively in the way of proof.
What he means is that in the way of definitive examples of your godhood, creation, heaven, hell, you're a little on the short side.
My abilities are not tokens to be demanded, as it is written.
How convenient.
Much.
as convenient as your foundation, containing the beast that would otherwise wreak destruction upon the world I created from nothing. What if it were gone? Perhaps a change of fate would be enough to satisfy.
You wouldn't.
He's bluffing.
What value is there in deception? Is not influencing the path of mankind a godlike act?
Then everyone would die. Nothing would be left.
To start from nothing is no new concept to me.
But we are not all of humanity. You can't punish everyone because we don't believe.
The desire, however terrible, was not my own. It was yours. Wishful thinking is not one that considers the consequences. That is the difference between a pretender granting wishes and a god who answers prayers.
Well, if all these other beings are simply posers, then why don't you tell us a little bit about them? Provide evidence of their deception.
Their falsehood is evident in their fallibility. How many cults has your foundation discovered in your observations?
I don't know. Couple dozen?
Too many.
Yet, despite this, their evil remains at bay. Yaldabaoth commands their sacrifice of pawns.
He said, Yaldabaoth. That's the Demiurge, Chief Archon, Yaldabaoth.
Demanding the destruction of technology to return my children to a more primitive state. Milkane alternatively seeks to force humanity into transcending into realms you are far too young to comprehend. A journey you would not survive, nor return from.
That in the spiritual sense?
As for Kahara,
The other name, please.
the Scarlet King, as you call him, desires only destruction. A futile effort, but a simple one. Your very fear of him brings forth his influence. But what do these three have in common?
That dental work?
Amusing. If they were truly gods up to my standing, would they not have already succeeded in their goals? For what purpose does a god require the services of lesser beings to carry out their design? A design? I created the universe with no such vessel. My power is absolute.
Surely a god as powerful as that would use their might to slay evil.
Even evil deserves the right to free will. To enforce my control to more than an influence would make me, as you say, evil. I do what I must. Their infighting and seclusion are in part a result of my will, but the choices they've made sealed their fates.
Which makes tracking your abilities virtually impossible.
The freedom in choice was always designed with the potential of disbelief. But every choice is not without its consequences. Some you can clearly see, others, well, are obscure.
Were you born into godhood, or did you inherit it somehow?
To be born infers a beginning, which implies an eventual end. Existence and I are inextricably linked.
Well, pardon us for not understanding time as an infinite loop.
Even that is quite an incorrect observation of how I function. But to answer your initial question, the burden of godhood has, and always shall be, my own.
Sorry, excuse for a burden.
Care to repeat that?
Science is for burden.
You're hardly treating your powers as though they were much of a burden. By your own admission, prayers go unanswered. Free will decides humanity's fate 9 times out of 10, and the odd exception isn't always your doing. From where I'm standing, it almost seems as though you prance on in, give birth to whatever species you're bored enough to make, then split without consequences.
To view my presence as a luxury shows a remarkable lack of understanding in the responsibilities of the one true day.
Yeah, we get the gist of it. You filter the cries for help and keep the boogeyman at bay.
What's confusing is all the things that you've told us so far don't seem to be all that time-consuming. I mean, if eternity's nothing for you, then how is the odd magic trick and bait-and-switch that strenuous?
Leaders of any kind are faced with decisions that hold vast and uncertain consequences. While omnipotence may grant me the gift of foresight, it does not allow the certainty in the face of free will. That is the penalty for obtaining freedom. The right to do wrong. To march headfirst into oblivion. I have sworn to never again stand in the way of mankind's ability to choose. And so my decision to act for good could very well tip the scales alternatively.
But what if our collective will is to beg you for help? That's our choice. By that point, you'd be more of an ally than God. Or would that be too much of a step down for you off that ivory tower?
If you are implying my inaction is not with the best intention.
I'd say it sounds more like an abusive partner gaslighting their significant other. You can't create the circumstances of evil, then blame us for it when we don't clean up the mess.
As I have said, mortal, my efforts are not limited to mere choice. My eyes and ears are spread out amongst the stars.
That's a lot of senses at work. Just how far does your presence spread? How many forms do you take?
Your lifespans would not less the time it would take to recount.
Figures. Alright. Recent history.
For a time, my presence was more in influence than direct. Visions, images, things that nowadays then used to stray more people from the path. I provided warnings of the future to Nostradamus, whose predictions of history you can attest to being accurate.
More like up to interpretation. You have a bit of a penchant for that.
Interpretation is the key to humanity's free will. If you are unable to choose the right paths alone, then that is your cross to bear.
Little on the nose.
In a year's time, Nostradamus predicted that a great plague would befall humanity. Perhaps then you'll believe my word.
Not the pestilence, right?
No, but as with my teachings, humanity will interpret fact over feeling. Even if I were to be blatant in my actions, man is perhaps more ignorant than you give them credit.
I'll say.